Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday, September 28th, 2017. This is the fourth day of what I will call the meat and potatoes of the early adapting vlog, but it is day number 5 in total for this, 5 days in a row now. Not a huge thing by any means, but on a mental level, it's kind of a big deal. Generally for me personally, I need 5 days of doing something in a row before I begin to form any habits. And usually it takes me about 25 to 30 days before it becomes sort of like a second nature thing. So, excuse me, thanks for sticking with me over the first 5 days. Kind of a big day. Going off to sign papers in about 15 minutes. Family and I just bought a house. We are leaving this one, which has been our home for the last 5 years, and moving to it's still an Orlando suburb. I'm not going to go into where, because, well, you know, it's the internet, and that's not always the safest place to put a whole bunch of public information. Forgive the hand in the way, but as I said when I started this, these will be honest and unedited vlogs, other than maybe putting a couple of cuts together. I'm not going to cut stuff out of them. So, here we go. On Friday, several days in, wanted to mention quickly that feeling a lot better today. Thanks for everyone that asked and for some of the well wishes. My back is much better today. A little bit of a tweak to it still, but nothing that I can't get around. Off to a much better start today. Back up early, got a good workout in, got a good breakfast in. I've been pretty active so far today, which is good because it's going to be a busy day. On Wednesday, I want to say it was, I had mentioned the 80-20 rule when I was kind of showing the morning pages off and talking about those. The 80-20 principle, I kind of wanted to unpack that a little bit. I try not to throw too many terms out there and philosophies if I'm not going to unpack them, and I know that I threw that out there the other day and didn't really get into it. So some of you probably already know the 80-20 principle. It's also known as Pareto's law, named after the Italian philosopher that kind of noticed that most everything works in a 80-20 ratio of effort to results. Basically saying that if you look at things generally within 6 to 8%, 20% of what you do is going to provide you with 80% of the results that you have. Likewise, 80% of what you do is only going to give you a return of about 20%. If you are looking at it in terms of, let's say, weight loss, hey, how about that little cowlick sticking up? If you were talking about weight loss, for instance, 20% of your actions, 20% of what you do with your diet, 20% of the exercise that you do, is going to give you 80% of the results that you get. If you were in sales, 20% of your customers are going to give you 80% of your revenue. What does that mean generally? To me, it's a matter of looking at what those 20% of actions are and trying to maximize those. And a lot of that, in turn, comes down to finding what the 80% of things that you do that are kind of wasted. I mean, they might provide you with something, like I said, the 20% of results that you get. But just think about what you can do if you found that 80% of fluff, let's call it, and cut it out. You can then take that time spent and find more actions like that 20% and boost that. And it's a continuing process. Once you do that, then after a little while, some of that 20% is going to become the 80%, and then you cut that out and bolster the 20%. Personally, I'm trying to find ways in my life to find the 20% of things that I do that are providing 80% of the results and maximize those, not just to get better results, which is always great, but also to find more time in my day. Driving to and from this house, from my office, is on a good day an hour each way, and on a typical day it's probably closer to an hour and a half each way. So I'm losing 3 hours a day, 15 hours a week, and you could do the math on and on and on, to just driving. Now, I found ways to put things in my drive, Udemy classes, lectures, things like that, Automobile University, and we'll unpack that one on a different day, to at least make sure that I'm getting something out of my drive. But it's still it's still a lot of time lost. So I need to find ways to take the little bit of time that I have on a daily basis and put more emphasis on the things that are actually paying off, and just cut out all the crap that fills the little limited time that I've got. So that's what the 80-20 principle, Pareto's law, is all about. There's actually a great book about it called the 80-20 principle, and I think I'm going to probably make that the thumbnail of this particular vlog. Great book. I'm actually just now getting into it. I've read the Cliff's Notes version of it before, and several essays about it. But this is the first time I've actually gotten the book, and I'm really picking through it. So probably do a review on that afterwards. But that's today's vlog. What are you reading? What's the 20% of your day that's providing you with 80% of your results? And likewise, what's the 80% of your day that's probably not really paying off? You know, I hear a lot of people say, cut out the TV, cut out all the video games. A lot of us, like myself, don't watch TV or play video games all that often. I don't play video games at all. And I very rarely watch TV, so that's not something I can cut out. My 80% is the driving. The new house I'm going to is much closer, so I'll end up cutting out 2/3 of my driving time at that point and applying the 20-80 principle to it. That'll help a lot. So yeah, reach down below, give it a click, subscribe, and more importantly, go in the comments section and tell us what you're doing at this point that you think is your 20-80-80-20, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.